Illinois. What's going on, Miss LaDonna?
I'm sorry, I almost said was cracking. I forgot I'm with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce today. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Wake Up Show Chicago. Yes, thank you for the applause. Applause. Oh, we'll take them all. The Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce is all about Black economic empowerment, and I'm so glad that you guys chose to tune in with us. You could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to tune in with us on WVON Radio right here on AM 1690 and iHeartRadio. Today, we're going to be talking about the upcoming conference that's August 7th and 8th. But if you look at the title of the show, it is How to Sit Across from Corporations, right? If you were sitting across from a corporation, would you be starstruck?
Come on now.
Would you be ready to say, you know what? What if you were in an elevator with someone that could really change the game of your success in your business? What would you say to them? Would you give them a blink? You know what I mean? The QR code, or would you give them a
Mhm.
business card? But what would you say behind that business card? It doesn't all fit on a business card, so you have to know how to back that thing up.
And what you said, if you're on the elevator, so do you have your elevator pitch? Can you tell them in a concise 30 seconds what it is that you do or what it is that you can do for them?
It depends on what floor they're going to.
Oh, come on now.
Because if they're going to the top floor, you got a little bit more
You got a
time.
little bit more time.
But
Captivated audience.
absolutely. So just always think about that. And I know that when you tune into the Wake Up Show Chicago, you always get these tidbits and these jewels and these gems about how to better serve your community and your audience when it comes to your business, but also how the government and the state contracts are involved or not involved, lack thereof, when it comes to our Black businesses. So we always give you like these tips, especially Larry. He'll come on here and say, listen, there is a loophole, there is a way, there is a strategy, and you get to write notes and taking notes. But one of our largest sponsors, or one of our dedicated sponsors of Constellation, is here with us today, and we have our commercial break coming up at about 9:15, and we're going to truthfully and honestly and lovingly introduce our guest for today from Constellation.
And you know, the cool thing about it is, listen, we are preparing for the conference. And while we're preparing for the conference, every week we're going to drop something on you. We're going to give you something that's going to help you in your endeavor to grow your business. Because see, here's the thing. It's not just about growing your business. We know that 80% of all employees at Black-owned businesses are Black people. So that means that when we hire people, we are directly affecting the communities that they live in. We are providing economic empowerment. And so for you to get your game together, get your pitch together, get your capability statement together, for you to do your research on these corporations, it impacts our communities. And that is why the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce is for Black businesses. This is what we do. And we are here to turn the ships around in our communities, provide economic empowerment. I'm talking about to have better schools, better education. I'm talking about better facilities around our communities, better homes. And it starts right here. It starts right now. So we need you to tune in and listen. If you're not sharing, you're not caring. If you're watching on Facebook and you haven't shared this with your friends and family, you haven't pushed this thing out on your personal page and your business page on Facebook and on LinkedIn, you stingy. Do you hear me? You're stingy. And you know, Mama always said, don't nobody like nobody that's stingy. So if you're getting this good information on the day and you know we giving you jewels, you need to be sharing, because sharing is caring. Am I right?
Well, then I don't think, Black folks don't like to be called names.
I said all I said was stingy.
I know, but they must be so involved in what we're talking about that they were unable to focus on sharing the link so that other people can learn. So I'm gonna say that, but yeah, you stingy. But make sure that you go to our YouTube channel, which is, if you look up the Wake Up Show Chicago and you search for it on YouTube, you will find our channel. And just to hit that subscribe button, I want to see those numbers go up today. Like every time we have a show, those numbers should be going up. And you'll see archive videos of us being in the studio, being out and about, our media collection of videos and everything. everything. And it would be so lovely to just let everyone know where they can go to get this same information. So this is why we asked that. So we're going to come back after break. We're going to go to commercial break. You are listening to the Wake Up Show Chicago. I'm your host, LaDonna Ray, and MC Pearson is on the radio waves today. We'll be right back after this.
Attention business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you ready to take your company to the next level? The Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce presents Getting Down to Business, a 2-day convention packed with opportunities to grow your business. Mark your calendars for August 7th and 8th at the Paradise Casino Hotel in Peoria. Network with fellow professionals, showcase your business to large corporations ready to partner with you, and gain valuable insight from workshops and corporate panels. Don't miss this chance to expand your horizon, make connections, and elevate your business. Plus, enjoy great food, entertainment, a fashion show, and comedy. Ready to get down to business? Register now at ilbcc.org. That's ilbcc.org. Or call 309-740-4430. Getting down to business. August 7th and 8th in Peoria. Your success starts here.
Brought to you by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce.
And we are back from that beautiful commercial break. As you heard, we are talking about the convention, baby. That's going on August 7th and 8th. And we are just so happy and excited to have you guys take part in that. We're going to go ahead and introduce our guests. Now, I don't know if, my MC just told me why this data is so old. I went ahead and searched for how many Black-owned businesses there are in the United States. And the number that came back was a significant low number compared to the number of our counterparts, but it shows that we have 3.12 million Black-owned businesses in the United States as of 2021, and that's because the census came out. Thank you, MC, in 2020. But that doesn't reflect everybody that decided, wait a minute, we got COVID, I got to start a business. So I can't wait to see the updated numbers. Do you have any updated numbers on that, MC?
Well, right now in the state of Illinois does not break them down by ethnicity. But right now, there are 360,000 minority owned businesses in the state of Illinois. I haven't broken down by state, but since we're in Illinois, that's why I gave you Illinois.
Mm-hmm. So how many say it again. I want them to hear this.
360,000 minority owned businesses.
And 360,000, we had 300 people on the VIP cruise. So that means that the 300,000 people could not all fit on the cruise. I get it. Now, the conference is another thing. You guys, at least we should get 3% of the 300,000 businesses in Illinois to come to the conference on August 7th and 8th.
And you know what? Here it is. First of all, you can register on the website, ilbcc.org. And when we talk about the value that will be in this conference, first of all, we eat 3 times a day. So that's the first thing. We got to wake up. We got to eat. We got to energize our minds.
Is that conference?
Right? At the conference.
Okay.
We're going to eat 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Not only that, once we done did all this networking, we done talked, we done did our pitches and everything. We need to relax our minds and let our conscience be free. How are we going to do that? We have a world-class singer. We have world-class comedy. And we have a world-class fashion show with multiple designers going to be there. This is top notch. But see, you know what though? That was all of the entertainment and the food. When we get down to business, we're gonna be doing matchmaking. Mm-hmm. That's where we get to sit across from the table at major corporations that are looking to do business with our small businesses, right? So you got a product, you got a service that you know can impact a larger business, then this is the conference that you need to be at. See, we're going to be talking about.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you because we got people waiting.
We do got one on with us.
We got a couple of people waiting. All right, you all. Here's the thing. you know, I'm not going to talk about Shay Shay, but I'm going to get my Shay Shay on. All right. This individual has 40 years in the energy sector,
Come on.
electrical engineer in power. Okay, with Constellation since the spinoff from Exelon in 2022. He's the former VP at American Association of Blacks in Energy, loves nature, the Bible, R&B. Really? Okay, now I know we're going
Come
to be
on now.
friends.
Come on now.
And jazz. I want you all to join us in welcoming Mr. Tracy Woods from Constellation. Hello, Tracy.
Good morning, sir.
Great to be with
Doing
you.
well.
Man, I'm doing good. Listen, we had a ball on the boat.
Yes, indeed. As
We had-
always.
yes, we had a ball on the boat, and we was messing around with some of your team members. I had a good time.
Did you say messing around with the team members? Lord have mercy.
Listen, we had jokes for days on the VIP boat cruise. If you missed it, you must be there next year. But that's all right, because we're gonna get it on at the conference. You know what I'm saying?
Always. Yeah, it was great. The boat cruise was fantastic. Good to see you both there. And you're right. It's a perennial event. You know, every year you get better. So it's just fantastic.
Awesome. And I want to bring on a caller because he is going to be kicking off the cruise at the conference. I said cruise, didn't I? I'm still on the cruise. He's going to be kicking off the conference on August 7th with us. We have a caller. I'm going to bring him on. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Here we go.
Hey, Brian Brown, thank y'all for having me on the show today. God bless you and God bless your family.
It's Brian
I just
Brown.
wanna,
I'm so excited.
I know.
Thank you. That's very kind. I just want to say something. I take umbrage with the statement of me being stingy. I'm actually an Aries, and I like long walks on the beach and being able to read poetry and that sort of thing. So
Wait
I'm
a
not
minute now.
stingy. I'm an Aries.
We said we're doing matchmaking, not speed dating. But go on. I'm listening, Brian.
Said
Not
not
we talk
stingy.
about being a stingy. I mean, anyway. No, again, thank you so much. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about as I was listening, thinking about the call is I actually have a television show in Washington, D.C. called The C-Suite Influencers. And what I do is very similar to what y'all are doing is I bring business people on my show and then use the power of video to target that message to the marketplace, right? Making sure that our Black businesses, our Black business owners understand that, hey, matchmaking is great. Sitting down across the table with someone is outstanding. If you don't understand what they need, right, they're going to be very polite.
Mhm.
They're going to take your card, and you'll never hear from them again. So part of what, and again, I'm honored to be able to kick things off, is I want folks to be able to understand there's 4 key components. Please write this down if you want to. If not, I'm happy to say it again. Show up. Follow up. Keep it up. And don't give up. Because that first time when you're reaching out to an executive that used to be with Exelon and now with Constellation, as strange as this may seem, this individual is unbelievably busy. And sending that person an email and hoping they get back to you, that email may never have gotten through.
Come on now.
So something as simple as sending a thank you note. Thank you for taking time for me at being at the conference. It meant so much. We talk about this, and this. I'm going to call you on this day and this time. If you're going to call, I'm on the East Coast. If you're going to call at 9:15 a.m. Central Time, then make sure you get on the radio show, right, at 10:10 Central Time, so you can hear a lot of the good things that are going on. And again, if you don't get through that first time, be persistent, be consistent. Hey, that individual's going to win an award. Show up at that award event. If you can't afford $178,412 a plate, volunteer. I met David Rubenstein doing the very thing I'm sharing with y'all right now. He was getting an award, couldn't afford $10,000 a plate. I'm being upfront with y'all. Couldn't afford it. A volunteer. I worked the registration. He got there early. Now David Rubenstein, who's Jewish, gets Hanukkah cards and Rosh Hashanah cards from me. He's a Baltimore person like I am. But that's really just those simple things. And that's what I'm hoping to share with everybody. Selling is only hard if you want to make it difficult. Right.
And
I'm
you
happy to do that.
And
Yes,
you know
ma'am.
what, Brian? There's going to be a lot of people that don't come because they don't feel like their networking has worked for them. And it's always, I like to say, if you're not working after your networking, then you're just not working. But what you're saying is how to show up, follow up, keep it up, and there was one more.
Don't give
He
up.
said, "Don't give
Oh,
up."
don't
Absolutely.
give up, right?
Don't give up.
And that's the part that people tend to do because they feel like they don't see the low hanging fruit after making this after I shouldn't say big investment because it's a very small
It's a
investment
small.
compared
That's
to
right,
what it would take to do marketing for yourself and get in front of these people. But you're going to tell them how to make it work and how to make it efficient.
man.
Oh
Bro,
yeah, and yes, I'm sorry. Please
no, no,
continue.
go ahead, sir.
I was going to say, hey, look, I've tried a lot of things too, and the key to success, right? The key to success is to not stop trying, as Usain Bolt said in one of his famous quotes. I spent 4 years training to run 9 seconds, and obviously, we all know what Michael Jordan said about, "I missed every shot I don't take." So, and again, the ancestry of our people here in this country have been a people of never giving up.
You know what, Brian?
And, okay.
This old preacher told me one time. He said, "Listen, you need to give credit 3 times, and after you didn't gave credit 3 times, then it's yours." So every time I tell somebody, show up, follow up, keep it up, don't give up, I'm gonna give you credit. But after that third time, it's mine. I just want to let you
Mike,
know
you
Oh,
I'm
there
you
gonna
you
going
go.
you going
adopt
to
it.
give them credit
I'm
twice.
gonna adopt it.
You're going to say it twice and then you're going to say it.
There was some conversation about stingy that seems to have stuck in my mind here. So I'm not trying to be stingy. I share it for the purpose of to help all of us get better. We're constantly learning from each other. It is a journey of learning. It is a journey of success. And I'm so honored and privileged to be a small part of this conversation today. And I apologize. I didn't mean to dominate the conversation, but I do appreciate this opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, please let's thank Brian Brown for coming on, and we appreciate you kicking off the conference on August 7th. It's the 7th and 8th, but the kickoff is on the 7th. So we can't wait to
Okay.
see you, and I will definitely be taking notes while in the room with you.
I don't know about that. That's the blind leading the blind through a dark room with sunglasses.
Oh,
I don't know if you what I have to say. But I would like to share my contact information with all your listeners
sure.
because I, I'm here to help, and as an expression, I like to say I'd rather win together than lose alone.
Absolutely.
So my phone number is 202-716-4880. 202-716-4880. Just everybody, just please text me first, and then my email is bbrown, B as in Baltimore, where I'm from, bbrown at biglaw, biglaw dash B as in Bravo, D as in Delta.com. I'm looking forward to being of service, and I'm so honored and blessed. I hope y'all invite me back, but understand I have an unbelievably grating sound of voice, so if you don't invite me back, I get it. But anyway, no, I'm looking forward to it. And again, whatever I can do to be of service to some of us and all of us, we have to do it together. We've been doing it alone too long.
That's right. We want to go far. We want to go together.
Thank you so much.
God bless you, man. We appreciate you. Now, Mr. Tracy Woods, listen, there's a whole lot of people. See, you know what? See, we didn't gave y'all part one. Y'all done got Brian on here. Now, Mr. Brian Brown, now we gonna pivot back to Mr. Tracy Woods from Constellation. And see, I know we've been laughing and we've been joking, but when I tell you the power and the influence that Constellation has and their team members, it's beyond imagination. So, Tracy, why don't you open up for us a little bit about yourself and then a little bit about Constellation and what makes Constellation so special? Because now, listen, all transparency, we have listeners who've never heard of Constellation. They know Nicor Gas, some of them might know Amarin, but there's some people who don't know Constellation and its impact. So, Doc, I'm gonna bag up. I'm gonna allow you. I'm allow you to set the table.
Well,
Come
you,
on
you
now.
and you only have a minute. I'm sorry before commercial break. So go ahead, Tracy.
All right, I'll get it started. So, thanks again for being here, LaDonna. Appreciate the introduction. One thing I like to add to that is that ComEd. I was a ComEd employee in the early 2000s. So Chicago, favorite city of mine, second home in many ways. So that's me. Also, want to talk about my team a little bit because we got some fantastic folk on my team at Constellation in the business diversity team. I call us the party of five, so we can still get a table at a restaurant fairly easily. But five folks that do business diversity for Constellation across the country. So there's Andre Wallace, who's our vice president of business diversity, named last year to the function, and I think what's important he's a modest person, but very few energy entities actually have leadership at the vice presidential level for the business diversity or function. But we have Andre. Then reported to Andre is Tawanda Livingston. She's my senior manager. 30 years in the DEI space, or actually supply
Tracy,
diversity.
speaking of 30,
Yeah.
it's 9:30. It's time for our next commercial break.
All
Hold
right.
that thought.
Okay.
And we'll be back. You are listening to the Wake Up Show Chicago, and we'll be back after this.
Attention, all entrepreneurs and business owners. Tune into the Wake Up Show Chicago on YouTube for expert insights,
Hey, Dad.
valuable resources, and inspiration to grow your Black-owned business. Go to YouTube and search for @Wake Up Show Chicago and hit subscribe and the notification bell to subscribe to the Wake Up Show Chicago. For behind the scenes and in-studio action, don't miss a single episode. Engage with us in real time. Comment live on YouTube and connect with like-minded entrepreneurs. Hosted by Larry D. Ivory, Buddy Love, and MC Pearson. The Wake Up Show Chicago empowers Black-owned businesses, powered by Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. Subscribe, engage, and elevate your business journey today. Are you ready to boost your Are you ready to boost your brand's visibility and share your message with our engaged audience? You can. Become a sponsor of the Wake Up Show Chicago and get your brand in the spotlight. Our show reaches a diverse, dynamic, and dedicated audience. Connect with us to learn more about sponsorship opportunities. Call 309-740-4430 today and let's elevate your brand together. Don't miss out on this chance to make an impact. Call 309-740-4430 now.
Told you we'd be back. Welcome back to the Wake Up Show Chicago. You are listening to, well, it's LaDonna Ray and MC Pearson. We're talking to IA, or I like to spell it IPO, but you know, let's talk at DEIA when we go with the video.
And Donna,
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, I was welcoming our audience back. I'm gonna welcome you back. Welcome back to the Wake Up Show Chicago. Tracy, you left off talking about your DEIA with Constellation, and I wanted you to, just continue from there
All
before we
right,
went.
appreciate that. Yeah, so the last person on my team that I want to talk to introduce is a young gentleman, Darian Bryant. Um, Served as an intern with us for a little while, and then we hired him permanently. So, brilliant guy and has a bright future. But Constellation, as you said, LaDonna, many people don't know about Constellation. Um, Up until 2022, we were part of Exelon Holding Company. People are familiar with Exelon because those in the ComEd territory, um, get a bill that says ComEd and Exelon Company. So we were all under that holding company until 2022. Then we got spun off. But Constellation is the largest clean energy provider on the grid. So we have that portfolio is nuclear power, wind, solar, hydroelectric. Those are water resources. So that's Constellation as an energy portfolio. We also have a commercial arm where we not only uh, market that power, but we also bring clean energy solutions. So, Fortune 200 company, $30 billion in revenue, and we supply power uh, to 75 of the Fortune 100. So, uh,
Mhm.
yeah,
And
we
not to mention, you don't downplay this, but you guys have one of the top
Come
CEOs.
on now.
Okay, top 10 CEOs voted by, and it's reported in Barron's, top CEOs of 2024. Joseph Dominguez, Constellation Energy. How cool is that? Like, have you guys given him a special parking space? Anybody put like balloons on his
Did
desk?
you decorate his
You
office and
know,
everything?
Listen, yeah, you know what? And Joe, we call him Joe D. You know, at the company, Joe Dominguez, um, fabulous guy. I mean, he actually is has engineering background, so he's an engineer, but he's also an attorney, and just a brilliant mind, but a down to earth guy. So those of us who at the company are just thrilled to be led by a person like Joe, who's advocate. I mean, part of our market position is because Joe has continue to be on message about the benefits of clean energy and particularly nuclear energy. So part of what's going on with nuclear, I wanted to share with your audience that um, folks, environmentalists even, are looking at nuclear energy as a way to meet our clean energy targets as a nation and to help us with our global climate crisis. One of the things I wanted to share is that earlier this year, Google and Microsoft and Nucor is actually a steel manufacturer. They came put out an RFI, or request for information, to Constellation to say, we are having these huge demands for energy, electricity, and we know we want it to be clean. Is there a way for you to help us solve that issue? And so, really, what we're talking about is expanding um, our nuclear facilities. We call them clean energy centers, to put things like small modular reactors there to meet the need. AI and data centers is exploding the power demand on the grid. And then when we talk about steel, there's a big push to clean up the carbon in manufacturing like steel and cement. So we're in the midst of those conversations, front page with a
and
lot
does
of
this
those.
have to do with liquid? Is it liquid nitrogen gas? Do I have it right?
Well, close to it, liquid natural gas,
Yeah, that's what
liquefied,
I said.
yeah,
Mhm.
liquefied natural gas. And we actually have a plant. We actually a facility where we produce liquefied natural gas. And yeah, that's a part of the energy equation globally. And so most of the LNG, that's the acronym for liquefied natural gas, most of that is exported internationally. If we think about what's going on in Russia, Ukraine, many of the European Russian customers are now getting their gas from U.S. So we'll liquefy it. That makes it easier to ship, and then we'll ship it overseas and expand it back to natural gas. We're in that business as well.
The crazy part is, since AI has been taking off with more of an open source for regular everyday users, Google jumped at the opportunity to invest in an expansion on their nuclear access. And I want just everyone to understand that this opens up doors for opportunities. You don't have to be in the energy sense to still come out to the conference and talk to an energy company. There may be some other opportunities for your business to actually benefit from these expansions. Go ahead, MC. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? No, you're exactly right. See, a lot of people hear energy and they don't see where they're going to fit in. If you have a business though that is committed to assisting companies with achieving 100%, carbon-free electricity or sustainability or community engagement. Well, those are three of the focuses, three of the priorities of Constellation. And see, and I like how, Tracy talked about what they were able to do to help out the Ukraine, but I don't want to pass up the opportunity to talk about what Constellation does right here at home. In 2023, Constellation gave away $18.7 million to a little around 4,400 charities. Okay. And that's up 50% from the previous year. And they focus on encouraging their team members to volunteer. They've logged over 100,000 hours worth of volunteer work, and they've also sponsored right around 2,500 grants to community projects around 28 different states. So Constellation is in the communities. Why is it so important to Constellation to have their team members volunteering and they investing in the communities? I mean, you don't have to do it. Why is Constellation find those things so important, Doc?
Yeah, so appreciate that. You on my cue card, so I appreciate that, MC Pearson. Great company to work for. We believe in impacting the communities that we serve in a positive way. We're very much aware, and if you look at our corporate sustainability report, which was recently published, we talk about our work in communities, and so it involves those things that you talked about: our employees volunteering, us putting resources into those communities to for equity and to empower communities. And a part of my work with business diversity, the reason why we call it business diversity is that it's beyond just supplier diversity. Most of the time you hear companies say supplier diversity and they're thinking about procurement and supply chain. And we're going to get to that because that is very much a part of what we do. But it's broader than that. And it's what you shared about impacting communities. We're going to be coming out later with Constellation will publish an economic impact report, which really traces our dollars from doing business with our suppliers and what that does to communities. MC Pearson, you talked about 80% of employees in diverse companies are diverse. So we know that. We know that diverse companies hire diverse employees, and then those employees are able to sustain a family, sustain business within their communities. And so we'll have a report that traces it from the transactions with us all the way to community impact, because that's really much about it, much about what we do. It's not just our internal profit. We're concerned about the profit of business, particularly all business, but diverse and small businesses as well.
For those small business owners who are listening to this conversation, I want you to be listening with a spirit of intention as you're hearing different things. So we just got through covering how they volunteer, what they're putting into the communities. You should be trying to identify how can your business assist them with assist Constellation with what their goals and objectives are. See, this is how you begin to find out how it is that you can do business with Constellation. Because Tracy already said we're really gonna get into the supplier list, but I want you to listen for the things that I said between the lines, and that's how we get ready to sit across from these major corporations that we're going to be matchmaking with at the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce Business Conference on August 7th and 8th. That I know that you are twiddling your fingers trying to figure out how can I get over there so I can register for this conference. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah.
now you were talking about, and that this is so true. You were talking about working with small businesses, but let's say I did my research, okay, because MC recommended that I research these companies, right? So last week he quizzed me, he said, how would you research a company? I gave it to him. Anyhow, once you do that, how do you sit across from a Tracy Woods when I come to the conference? What are you looking for? Like, do I sit there and what do I say? I introduce myself. I bring you my capability statement, my business card. How does that give me a 15-second? How would it go if I were to interact with you at the matchmaking session?
Yeah. So 15 seconds. So first of all, we partner with diverse certified businesses. So, and diverse certification is different from what many people think. They think ethnic diversity, and that's a part of it, but that's not all of it. So, there are other diversity classifications like veterans and service disabled veterans, like LGBTQ plus certified business, like hub zone or historically underutilized business zones. If 35% of your workforce lives in that hub zone, then you can certify as a hub zone business, and that's diverse. And then we have disability-owned businesses that are certified by third-party certification agencies. So that's number one. The other thing is part of what you and MC talked about was capabilities. And so when we say a capability statement, some are broad because some of,
You going into the capability statement right at the point where we need to go to our next commercial break.
all right.
So we're gonna go to the commercial break. You're listening to the Wake Up Show Chicago. I was taking notes for real. We'll see you when we come back.
Hey there, business leaders and entrepreneurs. This is LaDonna Ray from the Wake Up Show Chicago with an exciting update you don't want to miss. We just wrapped up an amazing pre-convention VIP cruise where everyone networked, mingled, and had a blast. But the fun doesn't stop there. It's time to get ready for the 19th annual Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce Business Convention, Getting Down to Business. Mark your calendars for August 7th and 8th at the stunning Paradise Hotel in Peoria, Illinois. Join us for 2 incredible days of networking, learning, and growth. Whether you're a seasoned business owner or just starting out, this convention is your opportunity to connect, collaborate, and elevate your business to new heights. Don't miss our business matchmaking sessions with large corporations that are ready to do business with your Black-owned business. Register now on our website at ilbcc.org. For more information, call the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce at 309-740-4430 or email us at info@ilbcc.org. Don't miss out on the biggest business event of the year, August 7th and 8th, Getting Down to Business. Let's get down to business and make magic happen. This message is brought to you by the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, supporting Black businesses across Illinois and beyond.
And we're back from that short commercial break. Constellation, you were talking about your the capability statement.
Talk about that thing, man.
Yes, yes, indeed. So, capability statements, and every business has them. What we stress in our matchmaking is to have a solution focused capability. And again, for your conference, the conversation should be solution focused because we're a Fortune 200 company, and as a company that size, we buy everything any other Fortune 200 company would buy. So we say everything from paper clips to turbines, generator turbines. So it's everything in between that. And so for your membership, really looking at what would a company like that buy? What are my capabilities? How do I partner with Constellation? When you go onto our supplier website, you'll see the categories. We have what we call category managers. They manage the commodities that we buy. And so you can take a look at the category managers, find that match to say, okay, yeah, that's in my capability set. And when you pitch in that moment with matchmaking, really say, here's what I know your problem to be. It'd be helpful if you had an experience with a similar size company or similar in a sector, another energy company, and say, I solved this for them. Sure, you're having this challenge, and let me share how I can bring a solution to you. Solution focused capabilities, and then some of the things that Brother Brown talked about in terms of closing, how to close, and get that meeting. What we do as advocates, once we meet with your members at the conference, is really follow up with those that are close matches for partnership. And here's why. As a private enterprise, you won't see our opportunities posted on the website or anything else. We're private enterprise, so you have to be invited to participate in the bid. Okay, so what we do actively as a team, is to get your members and suppliers in front of the procurement supply chain folks and really say, here is XYZ company. This is how they can partner with us, and introduce and have that conversation. The other thing that your members can expect from us at the conference is that we bring a forecast document. Your members are going to spend some time putting together, if they're invited to participate, spend some time putting together a proposal. We want them to know the things and commodities and projects that we have in the next 12 to 24 months, to give them some idea and give them a runway to prepare. So we'll have that document. It'll have, here are our forecasted opportunities.
You know what, Tracy? Now, you just gave a wealth of information. Now, I'm going to hold my opinion on this, and I'm going to ask you your opinion. For those for those serial entrepreneurs that sit across the table from you. Now, I've been here, okay? I've been at the conference. I've been at matchmaking. I've ear hustled. I've seen these people come into my business, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When they sit across from the table from you and they say, I'm trying to help somebody out there now, and they say, well, I have this business, this business, this business. And over in this business, I do this, this, that, and the other. In this business, I do this, this, that, and the other. I want to know from Constellation standpoint. I mean, man, listen, let's not tap dance.
Mm-hmm.
How do you receive that as versus a person that sits across from you and they have one business and they're pitching that one business? Because I'm trying to help somebody here today. So I'm going to reserve my opinion, and
All right.
and I'm going to let you answer this question.
Okay. Yeah, great question. Great question. And here's what I'll say. It has to be the best exchanges are solution focused. What I tell entrepreneurs all the time is, in order to really close and resonate, you've got to know that company's pain points, and more importantly, how your business solves them. So for the serial entrepreneur, if two or three of those businesses would solve a pain point for Constellation, I would say prepare to just talk about those in the limited amount of time. So if there's a whole plethora of businesses, sometimes we get lost in the conversation. So what exactly are you going to help us with? Okay, so if it's solution focused, that's better. So to your point, MC, if a person has one business, but they say, hey, guess what? This is what I do. I do it excellently, and I know that this is a challenge with a corporation, like Constellation, and I believe I can solve your challenge. That's going to hit me right between the eyes, much more focused than the broad spread of companies. Yep.
Yeah. I want to apologize to our audience for not giving the phone number that we've given every single week. If you wanted to call in, it's 773-591-1690. We don't have a lot of time left, but I didn't want anyone to give me a text message saying you never gave the number out, because I surely didn't. However, I do apologize for that. It is so good to have you, Tracy, on the line with us so that people can hear what that looks like. I know that we've been really highlighting the matchmaking session because that's where things really happen. We have some really good testimonials from last year and the previous years where people have sat across from corporations and they've gotten some things done. Some doors have opened. But the last thing you want to do is waste your time or the corporation's time just for the sake of saying I sat, and you getting Instagram pictures, taking, selfies saying I'm sitting with Tracy Woods from Constellation. But what is the result of that? You know what
Right.
I mean? So
Right.
yeah, that's huge. Do you have any recommendations? I know that you kind of told them be ready, bring your best, but do you have any recommendations for making the most impact during that short amount of time? Because I think you get about 20 to 30 minutes, if that. I think 30 minutes is too long personally, but it should be like speed dating. I mean, if you want to be with I'm sorry, if you want to work with this company or not. Okay. But what is the best advice you can give to an individual that is
Yeah.
willing, that is going to sit with someone for 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, the best advice, something that Reginald Lewis said, and we know what an impact he was as a black businessman. Um, but he was asked, "How are you so good? Why are you so excellent in meetings?" He said, "I'm always the most prepared." He says, I always over prepare." And so in those matchmaking, I think, just finding out about the company. And again, that's a lot of time because I'm sure it's, your members are not just sitting down with Constellation. But when you do, some of the things that you shared on this program, I think are excellent. This is a great vehicle, this radio show, to prepare for the conference. And if you know what we do, and you know what we buy, and you know what you do well, I think that preparation just makes the conversation go much more smoothly. Then we can, the other thing, the last thing I'll say is asking questions. Get your questions answered. Most of the time, if you haven't prepared, then you don't have a lot of questions. And it's almost like a job interview. At the end, they say, "Any questions?" And if you say no, most of the time they say, "Well, you're not interested in the job." In the same vein, asking those questions. You've done your research, but you still got questions about Constellation. That's our job, to fill in the blanks. So
I
preparation
love
is
it.
key.
I
Man.
love it. Well, we have a caller now that I've given the number out. Let's go ahead and pick. Hey, Arthur, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good
Good
day to
I
morning.
you.
enjoy, yes, I really enjoyed the discussion. I just started recently listening to you guys. And here's a question that I have to that I'd like to ask. Yesterday, I was shopping at a store, met this one young guy. He must have been around the age of 12. And I got in a discussion with him, and he was talking about index funds. I was really surprised. And now I have a cousin, a relative, and he's interested in business, and he's in high school. So the question I have is, with your conferences and some of the work that you do, since I haven't really been keeping up with this until recently with your discussions, do you have any type of forum or conference or group for young people, those who are in high school and in college? Because I know that you're really promoting the work that you do with the Chamber of Commerce, but I'm thinking if you start early, because there are a lot of young people who are aspiring to be business people too. That if you do this early on, the Bible says that how you train a child is truly important. So I don't know what the panelists have to say about that, but I would be interested in finding out, please. Thank you very much.
Well, you know what,
God bless.
sir? Let me tell you something. That is a very good question. And you know what? The Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce and our president Larry Ivory, they've had these types of things in mind as well. And so very soon in the very near future, you're gonna start hearing a lot of stuff coming out that of things we're gonna be doing with the youth, because we now have a foundation that is going to be working with the youth. We're going to have some programming for them that is going to specifically deal with entrepreneurship, because we need to train the next entrepreneurs of tomorrow. I'm getting a little old. I'm getting a little long in the tooth. I
A
got gray
little.
hair,
Well,
just
sir,
a little bit, just a little
well,
bit.
sir,
So
let me just say this. Let me say this in all defense. If you have a good business idea, some of those things are timeless. And what I'm basically trying to say is some of these young people, some of them are aspiring to be business people too, and they may have some good business ideas where we can help inspire them and even invest in what they might be developing.
absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely. And
thank you.
So, Arthur, can you give us a call or an email? I'm going to put our email out there. Do you have your pen ready?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, what am I supposed to
but that's
Can I
tell
okay.
can
you?
I
Let
can
me.
I
Go.
call can I call you guys back or maybe check with you later?
You know what?
Thank
Put
you.
the email out there, and then you can rerun our show on YouTube.
That's a good idea,
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Arthur,
Thank
thank you so much for that. But now,
God
now
bless.
you're a part of us. Okay, so the info,
Oh,
it's yeah, our email is info@ilbcc.org. Make sure you email us. Anyone that's out there listening, you can do the same thing. And our phone number for the chamber is area code 309 740 4430. Again, that email address is info, that's info at ilbcc.org.
Now, you know something? Tracy said this. Tracy said, you guys are giving out all this great information, and the chamber loves to continue giving great information. So let me tell you what we did. If you go on our Facebook page, there is a link there to a PDF. We've been talking about doing the research on the companies, knowing who they are, knowing what their pain points are. We've done the research on 3 of these companies. And if you like and follow us, I'll release the research on 3 more companies. See, we're doing the legwork for you. Come on now.
It's like winning a
Thank
contest.
you.
Come on.
Well, I want to say a big thank you to Brian Brown, who called in, Tracy Woods from Constellation. Thank you so much. We will see you all at the conference, and we'll see you next Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on WVON, iHeartRadio, and the Wake Up Show Chicago. Bye bye for now.
Peace.